without Jane pushing me, we wouldn't have gotten as much done, believe me. She'll call me up and say, I think we need to. That's like, you must. So thank you, and so much. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the projects we've done, the grant-funded projects particularly. Last time we met, we only meet once a year formally. We did have a special meeting this year. We announced the mini grants. And so I want to say that 32 libraries received mini grants. We had 50 proposals. Everybody got at least one. One library got 3, and that's Contra Costa, because you know how enterprising they are. So thank you all, and I hope you all enjoyed those mini grants. They were, some of them, very creative. Then there were the state grants. We got LSTA last year, which we had to spend in about 2 weeks, and we bought 2 databases, and we bought, which you all know, we bought the Gale training and education database for job hunting. I can't think of the exact right name. And we bought RefTracker. Both of those are going away. We are not buying them again, although the Gale database is still here for 6 months. It was an 18-month buy. And so that's what we had done with the money that we got last year. This year, as you know, we got some more money, which we have to finish spending by August. And we will be buying, well, we've already bought it, a Boopsy app, a mobile app for all the librarians. It will act as a directory for the libraries in PLP. So it will be, you'll be able to find out where the libraries are, where they're located, how many miles it is away from you now, and it will be out by July. We're working on getting everybody up, we're getting the information. We bought petting zoos of ebook readers, Brewster. We are sending them around to the libraries. We bought 4 of them. You all wanted them so much, we bought 4 more. So we have 8 petting zoos traveling around for 3 weeks. Each of your libraries will get it as you sign up. Susan Clark will be helping us facilitate meetings like the kind of meetings that will be what Jerry and Mike are talking about, but they will be evening meetings about how government is changing, how cities are changing, and how life is not going to be the same. She is going to be doing the first ones in the end of May in the north part of Peninsula Library System. I think 4 of the libraries or 3 of the libraries will be involved in that, and San Jose will be having her later this summer. The grant ends in August, and if we still need Susan, we can help people facilitate it. I'm not sure how much we will be able to add to your finances, but we will be able to help get Susan as part of this. Also, we have hired a grant writer, grant identifier, someone who will help you look for resources you need and help you write them if that needs to happen. She has sent out a Zoomerang, I think, survey last week asking you what kind of grants you're looking for, what you need, and we'll try to put together some meetings with the libraries who want to use her. Those are the 4 areas that we spent the LSTA money in this year. So, if there's any questions about any of the grants or any other thing, maybe Carla can answer more, but I don't think so. I don't want to put her on the spot about this. We really greatly appreciate the State Library helping us to do these special projects. So thank you. Jane, are you going to nominate the, yeah.
So, the next item is just to announce the executive committee members for next year. As you may recall, each of the 4 former systems, the library directors of those areas actually select the 2 representatives to serve on the executive committee. And there are term limits, so we have some people after these first 2 years who are cycling off, and some people who are coming on. So the people we're adding this year are Peter Liu from Monterey Institute. Thank you for being here today, Peter. Carmen Martinez from Oakland Public Library, representing Bayless and replacing Susan Gallinger. So yeah, so she couldn't be here today. And John Alita from San Bruno. Thank you, John. Representing PLS and replacing Valerie Summer. And SVLS will be appointing a new representative to replace me next week. Continuing will be Lisa Rosenblum from Sunnyvale, Julie Farnsworth from Pleasanton, Teresa Landers from Santa Cruz, and Susan Homer from Menlo Park. The next item is actually election of officers, and that is your job to elect those officers. I think you have, or do they have it? Okay, thank you, Terry. You have in front of you this slate. The nominating committee this year was just the entire executive committee because we've actually met more times than we ever planned this year and decided that we could make those nominations at our most recent meeting. And they have nominated Teresa Landers to be our president and Julie Farnsworth vice president, and both have agreed to serve. Since that's a executive committee nomination, it doesn't require a second, but I'd like to know if there are any nominations from the floor. Seeing none, I'll call for approval. All in favor of Teresa and Julie serving as officers? Aye. Opposed? Then their terms will, congratulations and thank you to both of them, and their terms will begin July 1st. We're going to do our annual plan of service stuff.
And when the plan, one thing I forgot, I knew I forgot something. One of the other grants that we got from the state, and I know one we use is the mega meeting. We have been using them at the executive committee of PLP, and I know some of the committees use it too. So the state library, as you well know, any of you who've been around systems for a while, does a plan of service every year. I've been doing them for 27 years, as Jane just reminds me. And they're usually the same thing. This year, they didn't send us that huge plan of service, and you don't have to read through it. This year, they sent what's in your packet. It's called the Preliminary Plan of Service and Budget. They asked us some questions, and the answers to our questions were informed by a survey that you all received. In fact, I have the results of the survey asking you about what was most important for us to keep in these times when we probably will get 0 to 50%, if we were really lucky, funding from the state. And these are the answers to those questions. So rather than having the whole large plan of service, this is what we will be sending back to the state, is your passage of this. We do not have a budget at this point. We know what it probably will look like, but the executive committee is empowered to pass a budget for PLP. And when we know what we have, we will have an executive committee meeting or an executive board meeting and pass the budget. We will certainly let you all know as soon as that is passed, and we hope it will be by July, sometime in July. So what you need to do is approve this for us to send to the state library, called the Preliminary Plan of Service and Budget 2011-12, and I'm going to give the microphone back to Jane since she should take the vote.
So we need a motion to approve from Valerie, a second from Teresa. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And we go forward into the unknown together. At least we're together on it. So then, yeah, we wondered if, since Carla is with us, and some of us have known Carla for many years, but since she's new to our organization too, it'd be great if she'd come and give us whatever update you can give us, and just let us know her role.
You want to know everything we knew about the budget. So I texted Stacy before I got in the car this morning, and I'm going to read you the text I got back. While I was driving down here, my phone kept going ring, ring. So she actually sent me, what I was interested in is if she knew where libraries stood in the budget that was submitted yesterday by the Republicans. You all know that Governor Brown will release his May revise on Monday. And here's what Stacy says. First she sent me a link, and then she said, we are looking for details now. Here's a link. Just reading through it now, she says. They propose to make no cuts to education or higher ed. We fall into education, but not sure what it means to libraries. I said thanks, and then she says, looks like the hit will be taken by state library in cost reductions, 2 furlough days, and other staffing costs. Then another one, she says, Southern California Public Radio reports that the Republican plan protects public education funds, but cuts billions from other state services. It shaves 20% from state agencies and employees to save $1 billion. It gets another $3 billion by adopting cuts that Governor Jerry Brown proposed to health, welfare, and library services, cuts that the Democratic legislature have rejected. Still not sure what this means, considering the specifics of libraries was not in the proposal that I could see. Have fun, she said. So that's, you now know as much as I know and as Stacy knows. The only other thing I thought might be of interest is and you probably know this, is that the federal budget, the last federal budget they fought about and approved, will be a $1 million hit to California in LSTA funds for the coming year. And beyond that, we don't know. But that's the latest. That's all I have. If anybody has any questions. So those of you that, I work in literacy, I work with rural libraries, I work with the volunteer program. We've done the same thing that you see in the plan of service with our literacy programs. They have all submitted to us 3 scenarios based on what will happen, so that once there is a budget, we don't have to wait to figure it out. We can get them some money as soon as we can, God willing.
Well, we hope you're having fun. Speaking only for myself, there are days when fun involves not being in the office. So, okay, so we're going to just take a real quick minute to set up.